So for those of you that don't recognize this car, this is Jared Holt's Supra. I did drag week with it in 2016. It's been if you followed drag week, then you probably saw a clip of me sliding this thing through the traps because I blew a head gasket out of it and it was dancing around on coolant. And looking back, it was pretty reckless but pretty fun at the same time. So we took it to the track this week, and it's undergone some changes. The guys in Tampa at Profab had put a lightweight floor in it, and we got a rear cross member or cradle, an IRS cradle from Joel Granis, so we lost a little bit of weight there too, with the goal of getting it back in the mid sevens, but without as much nitrous, because when I went 750 with this car before, I had 200 horsepower with nitrous on, and I would use 200 horsepower for the first 4 or 5 seconds, and then I would use 100 horsepower for the remainder of the run. And I'd like to get to the point where it's not really dependent on the nitrous to go fast, because Jared lives in Oklahoma and he doesn't want me working on this car a lot, and I don't really want to have to work on it a lot. So if we use less nitrous, just use the turbo, it'll be a more reliable combination over time, because you have 50 pounds of boost and then a couple hundred horsepower with the nitrous. It's quite a bit of stress on an engine. The engine is a RS 1600 with aluminum rods. It's a 3-liter. The turbo's an 8385. It's got a PHR dry sump kit, intake manifold with 12 injectors. So it's got 6 ID 2000s and 6 ID 1000s. And then it's a TH400 built from RPM with a Pro Torque converter and a DSS 9-inch bolt-in 9-inch, and then that kind of rounds it out. Still electric fuel pumps. It's a Weldon 2345. Jared's plan is to be able to race it on some no prep events or surfaces that aren't great. So we'll have to take it to there's a local road course that agreed to let us use part of their straightaway to test on an unprepped surface. So we'll work on that a little bit and get it to leave. And it's interesting. It's a different set of challenges than our car with the 4-link, because the 4-link, when you let go of the trans brake, it pushes the tires down and the car up, the back of the car up, and it's very easy to drag race. Whereas this, it wants to wheelie, so you have to be careful with how much power you put in it in the first second or so. So there's some timing retard and some bringing the boost in slower and things like that, which, to be honest, it makes it more challenging, because I'd gotten so used to racing the white car that I forgot that an IRS car was so tricky, and it has quite a different feel when you let go of the trans brake to it. It kind of squats and rotates before it moves, and the 4-link car just kind of shoots out of the starting line. So, but it's an interesting ride either way, and it's a lot of fun. So right now we're just gonna make some small changes and get back to the track and run it some more. But we did make 1/4 mile pass, and it went 7.6, which, for 45 pounds of boost and 100 horsepower with the nitrous for the first 5 seconds, I wasn't ashamed of that. And I look forward to going fast in the future with it.